Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. If you guys are new to us on the Amazon side, welcome. Glad you guys could be with us. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button. You'll see it here in this corner or down below. You also see some of the books by our next guest. I'm excited to welcome Monica Lynn to our broadcast. Now, Monica's someone, normally we do this the opposite way. Typically, I will interview someone here on the platform. Later, I'll meet them in person. I actually met Monica in person first. At a conference that we were speaking at in Atlanta, Georgia. She's not only a coach, she's a speaker and author. The book that I've been really enjoying is the one you guys see right here. That is Profitable Content, a 90-day entrepreneur workbook to craft a clear message that captivates and converts on social media. She also has other books here as well on Amazon. So if you guys look in the carousel, that'll be either here on the side or down below. You can be able to swipe through and look at some of the other books, one of which I was just saying to Monica is only 99 cents per Kindle. So you guys can take advantage of that. We're simulcasting our broadcast as well. So we do welcome us tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, on YouTube, X, as well as on Instagram. If you guys have any questions or comments for Monica, make sure you guys put those in the chat there. But Monica, so glad to see you. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Look, I'm excited too. So like I said, you and I met each other at the Branding Billions conference in Atlanta, Georgia. And like I said, typically what will happen is that I will interview someone and later we'll meet in person. I got to meet you in person and never able to have you here on the broadcast. Monica, I love the work that you're doing, especially what you've been able to share on social, how you really are helping people to embrace their voice and to be able to see the content that they can make for their audience. What has that been like for you? Let's start there. What has it been like for you to show people what's possible just by sharing their story?
Yeah, one of the things that I love teaching and showing my clients is the power of their voice. You know, when we share, we get to open up new opportunities, not only to ourselves, but to our potential audience and our potential clients. And I am finding the more I step into my voice, I'm able to embody who I really want to become. And that's the essential work that I do. And I love helping people see that they are truly brilliant because we are in our heads, we are in our brilliance every single day. So what we know just seems normal, but it's not normal to our audience. So bringing that to light has really helped my audience and my clients see, like, I said that? Like, wow, that's powerful. And I'm like, yes, because you said it. This is what the work you get to do in the world. So that's been a lot of fun for me.
And I know it's been empowering for others. We're going to go through some of what you have in Profitable Content that I think our audience will resonate with. Monica, but I want to go back a little bit because for you to be able to do this work and to help people to get past their fears, get past their anxieties, it had to begin somewhere. So when did you first realize this was a gift that you had to be able to bring that out of individuals?
So funny that you ask, because it really starts when I was a little girl. I had a speech impediment. I think you said you did too, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's why we were just instant besties, right?
Right.
I had a speech impediment. So a lot of people ask me, you know, what did you say? Can you repeat that? Or could you slow down? Or they turn to my sister and asked her, like, what did she say? And I grew quickly annoyed. And it really wasn't until I began to write that I was able to see that I could communicate clearly. No one had to ask me, can you slow down? Can you repeat? Because I was able to write it out. And I really feel that that was the beginning of my entrepreneurship, really.
Yeah.
Because I always knew I was going to be a writer of some sort. I just never knew it was going to be like this. I thought I would be more of a book writer, right? You know, a famous author, until I started to notice that I loved hearing people's stories. And I got the opportunity when I married my husband and we were in Germany at the Air Force Base in Ramstein. And I got the chance to be a human interest story writer for the magazine and newspaper on base. And when I started to interview people, I loved hearing their story. I loved asking questions and bringing out their story and writing about it to share with the world, even if it was just for, you know, the Air Force Base in Germany.
Right.
It was still a lot of fun. And I felt like that was another stepping stone to realizing I have a true gift of interviewing people and bringing out something inside of them that they normally won't. And maybe it's fear, maybe it's maybe a lack of confidence, whatever it is. I'm able to put people at ease and bring out their story in a unique and fun way that their audience can then resonate and join the movement, really. So that's kind of how it all started in a nutshell.
Yeah, love that. Hello to you, ESP Presents. Ellen, good to be able to see you over there on IG. Zaka, good to be able to see you as well, or Zaka. I apologize if I mispronounced it there. Thank you so much for joining us as well. See you guys over there on YouTube as well. If you guys have any questions or comments for Monica, make sure you guys put them in the chat. Monica, one of the things when I got the book initially from you in Atlanta, Profitable Content, that I really appreciate, something that I talk about a lot with my audience, is the importance of just that, knowing who you are speaking to. So I want to ask you that question, because you address that in the book, the importance of knowing your audience, right? How did you decide what audience you wanted to be able to target and to serve?
It came about organically. Okay. It came about when I started to attract a lot of coaches or consultants. I was talking to a lot of people, right? I was talking to a lot of people, but I noticed a lot of them were coaches, consultants, and some service providers who were struggling with producing content. And they kept asking me, well, how are you writing, 4 blogs a month and then social media content, and then you have a newsletter? How are you doing it all and not wondering what to do or what to say next? Right. And whenever I started getting those questions, that's whenever I knew, well, here's my audience, because it was the same type of people who were coming to me. Now I'm finding that a lot of my audience are still coaches and consultants, and though some of them are service providers. I'm helping a therapist right now, and I'm helping a financial counselor / coach as well. So it is broad in. But I love that the people that I'm now talking to are also getting more into like that body-mind connection work, which is a direction that I'm going into slightly. I've been doing that for my own life, but I haven't really been doing that for my business. But it's been really cool to see how I'm implemented this into my life and how I'm attracting people who are, that's what they teach, is that mind-body connection, and how that can help you with your money mindset or help you overcome trauma or whatever else is, stopping you from entering your greatness.
Love that. Hello to you, Tina. Good to see you over there on IG as well. Monica, and I love that about you. And you have such a great attitude and personality. You're right. When we met each other in Atlanta, I think our first encounter was before we go into the restaurant to eat with just the speakers first, and just such a great conversation. And I love the fact that you really do put people at ease. You really do make them comfortable. So I want to ask you on the other side, how does that feel to know that this gift that you've discovered for yourself, that you're using for yourself, how does it feel to know that that is able to help people get past where they feel stuck?
It feels, I don't know, like that's a good question. It feels so good. Like it feels light, airy, powerful, expansive for me to know that the gifts that I was given, even though I had a speech impediment and, it took me years to overcome it. And it took my parents, that discouragement at first, who had a daughter who had a speech impediment. And then my younger brother had autism. So my older sister was the only quote unquote normal child in my household. And just to know that that was my beginnings and that I was able to utilize it to help others, it feels so good. And like I said, light, kind of like, whenever I'm in my element, it just like I'm in my zone, and I know like what I'm saying is powerful, how I'm helping people is critical, and it is to help them get out into the world so the world can experience them. And now as I'm stepping into a new era, I'm calling it my new era, of business, it feels even more like limitless, if that makes sense.
Monica, I think we talked Chris Collier up. He's joining us over there on IG. Hello to you, Chris. Good to be able to see you as well. Troze, hello to you. Good to be able to see you as well. Met him also in Atlanta. I got a chance to interview him. Got a question from IG, Monica, I want to share with you from Ellen. She says, how important is it to have knowledge in order to grow your business?
So I'm assuming you're talking about knowledge in gaining, like honing your skill.
Ellen, if you want to clarify a little bit, but you can go with that, Monica, if you'd like, and then I'm asking her just to clarify if she meant something else.
Yeah. So if you're talking about knowledge as in honing your skill, we are always honing our skills, right? I mean, I'm a writer and I always am honing my skill. I join, masterminds, or I hire coaches to help me hone my skill even more. And now that I'm growing, because as you move through your entrepreneurship, you're going to grow, right? So you need someone to help you grow with your knowledge, your skill set. And when you do that, you can become, I feel like you can begin to niche yourself differently. You can speak differently. You can attract a different type of audience that is willing to and has the means to pay you what you're worth or what you're charging, right? So I think growing your business with that knowledge, knowing that you are how did my coach phrase it? You are always into growth, you're always growing. I think that is one powerful way. And it is okay if you are at the point where you have knowledge, you can help people, and maybe you don't have the means to invest to improve. That's okay. You can still make a difference. You can still change people's lives with what you know, because what you know is going to change and grow as you work with other people. I hope that answered the question.
And she wrote yes. That is what she meant.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, but I want
that resonated.
Yeah, I want to pull on that thread a little bit more, Monica, because I think it does go, though, to knowing, like, for yourself, what you're passionate about. And that makes it, I think, more authentic for the listener and for the audience as well. How have you been able to balance that? Because you wear so many different hats. I mentioned you're a speaker, you're a coach, of course, you're an author, you're writing fiction right now. I've been keeping up with your prompts on Facebook, but you also are a wife and mother. So how do you decide, when you're able to do so many things, what you want to focus on?
That's another great question, because I'm also homeschooling my oldest son. So let's add that into the things of hats, or the many hats I wear.
Right.
One of the things that I was talking to my coach yesterday about was that I sometimes have to mull over what I want to say. Lately there's a couple of things I've been wanting to share, and I've been waiting a couple of days to kind of think about how do I want to share it? Why am I sharing it? And what's the intention behind it? So lately, that's been something that's, I find a lot of inspiration randomly, and sometimes it comes from my coach. Sometimes it comes from me just thinking. Maybe it comes from conversations just like this, or my clients. But I get these inspirations, and sometimes I have to sit on it to really, okay, how do I want to say it? Or like, this is a really good question. How do I, do I have the answer? And sometimes I journal. Like yesterday's social media post was through a journal prompt. I just journal my thoughts out, and that's how I get my answer. Sometimes the answers just kind of come about. But right now I've been really into showing people how they can share their story in a safe way for themselves, and how they can show more of them online. So that's one thing I've been exercising more of. So sometimes I ask myself, what do people really need to hear? What is it that I really want to share today? And that helps me come up with the answers. And like I said, sometimes it's my coach who inspires me. Sometimes it's life. And like I said, sometimes I just have to think about how do I want to word this. So it's okay if you have a brilliant idea and you want to wait a couple of days to share it, because sometimes it just takes a couple of days to get the words so that way you can say, or even have the time, because sometimes time is not always on my side as a mom, wife, homeschooler or homeschool mom, all the things, business owner, speaker. So I think one way I transcend this, that's a connection word. One way I do this also is I bring these stories into my speeches too. So I know I'm going to be revamping some of my speeches going into the future to include more of these stories about not only how I'm utilizing my own content to show more, but how you can do it too. Did they answer your question?
Yeah, it does. It does. And Chris says this is awesome. Thank you for that, Chris. I appreciate that. Dr. Norma, good to be able to see you over there also on IG. We have people joining us all over the place. Appreciate you guys being with us. I got another comment here, because some people may just do things without knowledge and learn along the way. I'm always a student ready to learn what I'm doing, to be able to explain. Yeah, I love that too. Reform Consulting, hello to you. And I think that's why I think knowing what your area is so important. Another thing that you talk about a lot that you also address in your book, Profitable Content, Monica, is the power of collaboration. I want to talk about that for a second, because you seem to be a person that is all about being able to connect with like-minded individuals. I know for some people that may help them, especially when it comes to content and what they want to do. How important have collaborations been for you in your business?
Well, I mean, that's how I met you. So,
yeah.
I mean,
right.
And mic drop. Right. Collaborations has helped me to grow my audience in so many different ways. This is how I met Cyrus. That's how I met Kim Ward. Let me see who else I met. Dr. Faith. I mean, there's so many different people. I mean, that's how I met even one of my coaches. This is how I met actually both of my coaches, is through networking and just relationship building.
Yeah.
And okay, if you follow human design, if you don't, that's okay. But if you follow human design, I'm a line 4. So line 4s are all about like that collaboration, that, we're kind of the extrovert, right? So the line 4 in me really loves to collaborate, to be with people, to give the ideas. So that's what really drives me. And I'm an extrovert. I love to talk, as you know. I'm a speaker, writer, all the things. So I love to talk. I love to share. And if I want to grow my business, I leverage other people's audiences, and that is through collaboration. So I have, collaborated with one of my friends and peers. Multiple times we made courses together. We did webinars together. I recently held a webinar with someone else I met back in November. We were a part of the same networking group. And I partner with another lady who is part of Mom Biz Boss. She's one of my coaches as well. And so I partner with her in a lot of her things. And that was how I was able to be a speaker at a retreat on a cruise ship in international waters, therefore becoming an international speaker. So collaboration for me has helped me grow not only my audience, but who I'm talking to. My sphere of influence. And you never know who you may know or meet that may know someone else who you could collaborate with. And it's just like, for me, it's a beautiful way to grow, nourish, and support one another. I mean, that's really what it is all about, is because I want Cyrus to win. I want Tomei to win. I want Chris to win. So how can we all win together?
Yeah. You posted something today that I think is so appropriate to this conversation and what you just said. I want to share it with our audience, Monica, and talk about it with you, because I thought this was so neat before we went live here. You said you're being called to be more. Sharing yourself on a deeper level is a step to embodying the being more. I want to talk about worthiness for a second, because, as you mentioned, I've mentioned, both of us, we overcame things like speech impediment, other challenges. What has it been like for you to know and to accept and embrace, Monica, as you wrote in this post, that you were meant for more, that you were someone who were giving something that was meant to be shared and to grow?
Yeah. The being more has always been with me. I mean, it's always been part of, ever since I started my business, I've seen where I could take my business. And even though it doesn't look the way I thought it was going to look,
Yeah.
it turned out, of course, better, because now I see how it all weaved to who I am today. And whenever I wrote this post, one of the things that I've been in the state of is high surrender like crazy. That's my theme this year, is surrender. Surrender. It's hard. It's not easy, okay? So if you think it is, it's not. But it's part of my growth. It's part of the next level, right?
Right.
That also means being. Just being. And that is also hard to be when you are, right now my husband's deployed. So he's deployed doing that. And so I'm like, being a single mom right now. So shout out to single moms 24/7, because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. So I'm learning to surrender and then be. And whenever I say be, it just means be me, letting go of a lot of beliefs that I thought I had to follow to be a good Christian, to be a good entrepreneur, to be a good girl, right?
Yeah.
I'm letting them go because I realize that has never served me and my walk with Christ, or my walk in entrepreneurship, or my walk as a mother and wife.
Yeah.
So letting them go, like letting go of the beliefs to be who God has called me to be, or to be who I was always meant to be. And I'm always stepping into it. I don't think there is an end to this. I think you're always growing and being and becoming the person you were meant to be.
Sure.
And so with that being said, if you know that you're being called to be more, then I would challenge you that there's beliefs that are hindering you from getting to where you want to be. And you need to find the beliefs. That's going to take some time. So be gracious with yourself. They will show up. Don't worry. They will show their ugly little heads. And then you know what to let go, surrender, or work on, because that's your next level, is shedding these beliefs. So that's why, the other day I posted, shedding these beliefs look damn sexy on you. Like, continue doing it,
Yeah. Right. Chanel, thank you for joining us on Facebook. Chanel says, love this. Monica's so amazing. Yes, she is amazing, isn't she? We got a question. Also got a comment too, Monica, on IG. Ellen says, I'm a military wife as well. I understand. Hubby did 22 years. Now children are grown, 38, 36, 35, all girls, and then a son, 27. But she also has a question. How important is it for entrepreneurs to stay focused and not look at the green grass, not knowing what it took to grow your own business? That's a really good question.
That is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it's not easy to be focused when everyone else looks like they're winning. It's hard, okay? Like, I've been there. And let's be honest. I think we're all there at some point.
Sure, definitely.
Probably later on today we'll be there. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
One thing that I have been, I think for me right now, I've been really in the lane of focus. Like, it's taken me a long time to get here. Is once again, go back to the surrendering the idea that, this grass is green on the other side. Because one thing, like, I'm at a place in my life that I always dreamed of, to be honest. And I know this is going to get me to my next level. And I've also seen where, let me see, how do I answer this? Like, I've always, like, I'm where I want to be, and I'm going to be growing and moving to my next level. And I also know what it took to get here. And it's not always green, or it's not always, it's not easy. So now whenever I see, the people that I want to be at, that's the next level I want to be at, I know the work they had to put in, the heartache, the tears, the beliefs, the shedding of these beliefs alone is just something.
Yeah.
And then, stepping into someone, and that's scary. It's scary. And I recognize the work that they had to put in to be where they're at. And also I know that they had to do a lot of, not to get woo-woo, but it kind of is like the energy work. They had to rework their mindset, and that takes time, and everything just takes time. And it's okay for you to go at the pace you were meant to go in. Like, I'm finally at the place where I want to be, or where I always dreamed to be in. And it taking me, oh my gosh, like 10 years to get here. Yeah. Because I was on the wrong path for so long. And then I finally got realigned, and now I'm on the right path. Whenever I say right, I mean, I work with a coach who totally has helped me. So shout out to Meg Zeke and Teresa White Johnson for helping me get realigned and be focused. And so I think finding the right support is also a huge help to being focused. So that way you can work on yourself and not compare. And when you do compare, this is a great opportunity for you to surrender. Like, okay, I'm not there yet, and that's okay. And give yourself grace, and to look at what you have accomplished, and then to be grateful that someone else has led the way and can show that they can do it, so you can too. Yeah. And just know it takes work. I don't know the answers the question, and that's what I would say.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. And I love the one thing that you kept coming back to. Even for them, it took time. For us, it will take time. And I think that is the other thing, and not to expect that to happen right away. Tina Seaman says, all win together. It's so true. And this, again, shows the power of this reinforcement. What a great conversation, Monica. Monica Lynn, everyone, has been our guest. She is a content guy, as you see there on the screen. She's also a speaker. She's an author and writer. She has this book that I got from her in Atlanta, Profitable Content. You guys can see it here on Amazon. I'm going to highlight it again for you guys there. A 90-day entrepreneur workbook to craft a clear message that captivates and converts on social media. And speaking of social media, make sure you guys are following Monica on Facebook. She gives you guys some great prompts and affirmations there to be able to consider. But Monica, where else can our audience find you and stay connected?
Yeah, you can go to my website, monicawrites.com. So Monica Writes, as if you're writing a book.com. And it does need updated. So give me grace. However, you could go there and get on my email list. I send out a weekly email, just sharing what's going on in my life, as well as anything new that's going on. And of course, be my Facebook friend. This is where I do a lot of my postings, a lot of what's happening. You'll see pictures of my kids, of my journey. And that's where I'm going to be sharing more of my real and raw self. And that's really the top 3 places you can follow me and get to know me more.
All right. Well, Monica, great time with you today. So good to be able to see you again, and looking forward to our next chat together.
Yes, me too.
All right. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, I'm Cyrus Webb saying thank you so much for being with us. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.